Happy Halloween, everyone. It's Anthony again. Recently, I've done a couple of videos looking at one of the symbols that was included in a Halloween card that was sent to reporter Paul Avery, which is believed to have been sent by the Zodiac killer. And if you've seen the movie Zodiac, Avery was played by Robert Downey Jr. If you follow this case, I'm sure you already know of it. Here's what it looks like, kind of like a valley between two mountains with four dots. Now, to be clear, I don't have any definite answer to what this means, and I've pointed out in the past it could be a random doodle that the Zodiac put in just to throw off people. If so, I'm sure the Zodiac is dead by now, but perhaps wherever he ended up, he's laughing at people 50 years later, trying to figure out what it means when it in fact meant nothing. In the few cases where you have actual letters from serial killers, they're going to likely contain a few verifiable clues salted in with misdirecting nuggets. My guess is the letter writer in any of these cases does not really want to be found out, but they want to see people in the media and law enforcement trying to figure out their identity. If they really just wanted to be caught, they would just turn themselves into any police station, and that sometimes happens. And I know a lot of other people have done work on this particular symbol, and quite frankly, I haven't really looked at other people's work just because I don't want to be influenced by them. I want to come up with stuff on my own, but quite frankly, what they've come up with could be much more valid than what I'm proposing. Anyway, I've discussed my opinion that these symbols, to a degree, look like standard symbols denoting wind speeds that are used in weather charts. I've discussed how they look like some ancient writing systems from the Middle East, as well as similar to runic symbols. And of course, it does, to a degree, look like a cattle brand. And some people have found a similar cattle brand from the Red Rider comics. I agree that there is some similarity, but it lacks the dots, and just because something is similar, it could well be coincidental. I give the example the figure 8 and the infinity symbol. It's basically the same symbol, just looked at differently, but obviously the numeric value between the two is quite large. And it's quite frankly just not the same. And just to be thorough, I've also looked at so-called hobo symbols and Boy Scout symbols in previous videos also, none of which I found were convincing in the particulars to this case. And here today I want to briefly bring up that they look similar to so-called ciphers such as the Pigpen cipher or the so-called Masonic or Rosicrucian or Knights Templar ciphers. Now, playing around with these various ciphers, I've tried to come up with some names associated with the Zodiac case, such as Cheney or Allen or Shell Cavalli. You have to really use tortured logic sometimes in getting different permutations of these ciphers to make anything approaching any of these suspects' names. Anyway, if you're interested, I encourage you to play around with these various ciphers and see if you can find any names, whether they're suspects associated with the case or any other names that have no association yet. If you do find anything, please leave your answers in the comments. Hopefully, if you like this, you'll click the like button, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe to this channel. I need 150 more subscribers until I can get monetized, and hopefully I can reach that milestone by the end of the year. Thanks again, and hope to hear from you soon.